Hello, I am Annie Park, the head of Annie Park Mind Coaching. Today, I would like to tell you that you should never set limits. What I mean by setting limits is that usually, students decide on a university they want to attend and set it as their goal. However, in reality, when you look at it, that goal is merely a self-imposed limit, thinking they cannot attend a better university than that. It's the same for ordinary people. If someone thinks, I will earn a certain amount of money, they have psychologically set a limit, believing they cannot earn more than that. Therefore, you need to be cautious about this. I would like to explain this with an example from the past. A mid-30s office worker who was attending graduate school mentioned that when he was a university student in his 20s, there was a famous young professor. Additionally, that professor's wife, who was also a professor at the same school, was known for her beauty. This professor, who seemed enviable, said something during class. He said, have big dreams and work hard. Then you can study abroad and surely achieve your dreams. Although it was good advice, he mentioned that he didn't feel very comfortable from his perspective. He thought that since he was from the countryside, he wouldn't be able to study abroad like the professor, nor would he receive much support from his parents. So, he thought it would be good just to graduate and find a job. He believed that the professor could talk about such a fortunate life because he was born into a good family with various talents. That's why it didn't sound pleasant to him. And about 10 years passed since then. He had the opportunity to serve drinks to the professor with several colleagues, and during that gathering, the professor shared something unsettling. The professor was born into a poor environment and had to work part-time jobs to get through high school and college. He lived a very diligent and intense life, saving money to pay for his expenses. He didn't study abroad with his parents' help. Instead, he passed the national scholarship exam and went abroad for his studies. During his time studying abroad, the girlfriend who had left him when he was struggling later became the wife of a professor at the same school. He shared this story with the professor over drinks, and it was completely different from what he had imagined. He said he was deeply shocked and learned a lot from this revelation. What he realized the most was this: the fact that you should never set limits for yourself. He thought that because he came from a poor rural background and couldn't receive support from his parents, he couldn't live decently no matter how hard he tried. He failed because he expanded on various kinds of limits, believing that talented people couldn't win. On the other hand, he realized only then that the professor succeeded because he made consistent efforts without setting such limits, even in serious situations. In fact, it's fortunate that he realized it, even if it was at that time. However, I am making this video with the hope that many students who sent this video and those who can meet me will firmly keep this in mind and set themselves on the right path from their 20s. You must never set limits for yourself. Many people truly believe that successful individuals must have something special. However, upon closer examination, there isn't really anything particularly different from ordinary people. If there is something special, it is their mindset, their consistent mistakes, and their attitude and approach to life. These are the most special things in the country from a young age. I cannot believe that it is because their mindset, thoughts, and actions in Jeju Island were different, that they achieved different results. Because the number of people is increasing significantly, people are setting limits from the very beginning. People are born with all the support, some parental backing, and tremendous talent and intelligence. If you make the mistake of thinking this way, you will never be able to progress afterward. So, do not make excuses in that way, and never set limits. Instead, identify what makes them special, and further develop that aspect. You will need to make an effort. In fact, I've seen students who say that many people who see the teacher think they are related to many academy directors, but that's absolutely not the case. It's simply about doing something properly. It's merely about having the right knowledge, briefing, explaining, and consistently building my own world. However, many people only consider things like academic connections, blood ties, regional ties, or political backgrounds, and I want to emphasize that if you do that, you will truly miss the essence. and inevitably lead a very difficult life. So, everyone, let me reiterate that successful people truly have something special. Keep in mind that generally thinking this way is a huge misconception, merely a fantasy. It's just that thoughts and knowledge are different aspects. I hope you nurture your true talents without setting limits from a young age and live a more fulfilling life. Then, I'll see you again in the next video. Stay strong.